Hello, my name is Adrienne Wallace, and today I will explore open educational resources, also known as OER and Open Pedagogy. So what exactly is OER? They are educational research and informational materials that are freely available online for anyone to read, download, use, and share without financial, legal, or technical barriers. Some of the key features are free, no-cost access, open licensing so that educators and learners can access them at no cost, adaptability for local context. They unlock teacher and publisher flexibility and local innovation. Multiple formats, textbooks, audio, videos, modules, and assessment. Instructional benefits of OER. Why should we invest in OER from an instructional standpoint? First is cost savings, eliminating or reducing textbook fees, which help both families and institutions. Second, equity. When students don't have to wait for materials or share them, we're leveling the field. Third, teacher agency. Teachers can customize materials to reflect their local context, whether it's CTE, internet safety, or digital equity themes in our classroom. Fourth, agility. Because we're not reliant on lengthy publishing cycles, we can respond to current events and update our students' materials. Fifth, because OER often presents multiple formats and pathways, they can support differentiated learning and universal design for learning approaches. Finally, there is verifiable evidence supporting improved outcome. For example, in Louisiana, an open textbook pilot within dual enrollment improved average grades and pass rate. What is open pedagogy? Open pedagogy is pedagogical practices that engage students as creators of information rather than simply consumers of it. Alternative framing. Open pedagogy invites learners into a wider public, invites creation, remixing, sharing beyond the classroom, focuses on students as creators rather than consumers, enables authentic, shareable, and meaningful learning output. If OER focuses on the materials, open pedagogy focuses on the teaching and learning practices. At its heart, open pedagogy invites students to become active, participatory learners, not just consumers of content, but creators, collaborators, and contributors. Key features and practices of open pedagogy: learner-driven knowledge creation. Students are not just consumers of content, they create, remix, and contribute knowledge. Use of open educational resources. The 5R permissions, teaching openly licensed materials that students can retain, revise, remix, reuse, and redistribute. Authentic public-facing assignments. Publishing work online increases motivation and fosters responsibility for quality. Collaboration and co-creation. Learning involves collaboration among students, instructors, and sometimes outside communities. Emphasis on transparency and sharing. Pedagogical practices, resources, and decisions are shared openly. Student agency and empowerment. Students make meaningful decisions about their learning, what they create, how they present it, and sometimes how their work is evaluated. Social justice orientation. Many interpretations of open pedagogy emphasize equity, access, and reducing barriers to education. Reflective practice. Students and instructors reflect on learning processes, openness, and the ethical implications of sharing. Notable OER platforms K-12. OER Commons is a huge K-12 library with lessons, activities, textbooks, and assessments. CK-12 Foundation offers high-quality K-12 STEM content. Khan Academy K-12 offers free lessons, practices, and videos. Open Up Resources, full curriculum package for K-12. Teach Engineering, STEM-focused K-12 engineering lessons and activities, hands-on and project-based. Smithsonian Learning Lab, open cultural and educational resources. Digital Public Library of America, primary source sets for K-12 classrooms. National Geographic Education, free learning modules, maps, and activities. Frameworks for implementing OER. If we're going to adopt OER at the district level, we need frameworks to guide implementation. The 5 R's of Open Educational Resource by David Wally, the foundational framework for understanding what open means. It defines what users are allowed to do with OER. 1. Retain, keep a copy. 2. Reuse, use a variety of contexts. 3. Revise, adapt, adjust, or alter. 4. Remix, combine with other materials. And 5. Redistribute, share with others. This is essential for designing policies and training educators on what OER legally and pedagogically enables. Our state and workplace, the current status and actionable possible next step. There's limited public evidence that EBR has a formal district-wide OER initiative, but there is some relevant statewide momentum in Louisiana and some actionable next steps. OER policy and infrastructure. Louisiana Department of Education has an instructional materials review process. They review instructional materials, including OER, for alignment to state standard. Legislation and financial support. The Louisiana Revised Status defined what counts as OER. Awareness and support. LSU has course affordability initiative supporting faculty with OER and AER adoption. East Baton Rouge school system. Currently, there is no public or formal OER program. There's no clear evidence that one exists with the EBR school system. Curriculum instruction focus. The Curriculum Instruction Division talks about equity and access to high quality instructional materials, but does not explicitly mention OER. Budget and finance. In EBR's financial report, there is not a dedicated OER line item or initiative described. Grant or federal application. EBR school system apply for federal grant, but it's not clear on that application that OER is a central component. Next steps for EBR to implement. First step, conduct a needs and readiness assessment. Survey teachers, instructional coaches, and curriculum leaders to assess awareness, needs, and pain points around instructional materials. Form an OER task force for steering the committee. Include representatives from curriculum and instruction, technology, libraries, school leadership, and classroom teachers. Create an OER pilot program. Select 1 or 2 subject areas and a few grade levels to pilot open curricula. Build professional development. Train teachers on OER, how to search, evaluate, adapt, and remix. Institutionalize OER in curriculum adoption. Develop district-level guidelines or a rubric for vetting OER. Leverage external partnerships. Partner with the Louisiana Library Network to support OER access and development. Measure impact. Define metrics, cost saving, teacher satisfaction, student outcome, usage rates. Communicate and scale. Create a district OER repository to share drive for teacher-created open resources. Why this matters for EBR? Equity and access reduces cost barriers for students. Flexibility. Teachers can adapt open content to reflect local needs. Long-term savings. Potential to reallocate textbook budget toward other priorities. Innovation. Encourages open pedagogy, student-created content, and more interactive learning. Partnerships. Build stronger ties with state-level institutions and higher education, opening up further collaboration and funding. When our students move from consuming to creating, when teachers are empowered to adapt rather than being constrained, we move closer to the future-ready vision of learners who are adaptive, networked, creative, and empowered. I look forward to partnering with stakeholders and digital communities as we make the shift to implementing OER into the EBR school system. Thank you.